YouTube, I'm back. This is all for Avengers now. Seriously, I just got off work. YouTube, so I am back for Marvel Week Extravaganza or Marvel Week Madness, what I've been calling it. I am back for a brand new review. This is going to be for the movie Thor, 2011 version that starred Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, Tom Hiddleston as Loki. You got Eric Salvid, you got Darcy, you got Anthony freaking Hopkins that is playing the Almighty. Shoot, how could I forget his name? Odin. So this movie kicked off a lot of different things and a lot of good things that happened with it. One of the big controversial things that happened though is that they casted Idris Elba as Heimdall. Heimdall is the person that takes care of all the elevation that's coming in and out of the realms. And so if anybody transport, he's the one that actually makes the contact to be able to do that and has authorization of revoking it or stopping it. But he's really powerful, and like the character's supposed to be portrayed as a Caucasian person, but it was, like, I mean, Idris Elba is definitely British African American. So it was really good that it happened because it added a lot of draw to the movie. And so my first impressions of the movie, when it first started out, they had the classic Thor, but like he had the perfect look of it. Chris Hemsworth in the beginning of the movie, like he embodied the look, the helmet of Thor, and like at the same time it showed like he had like a lot of growing up to do, that he had by birthright in a sense like thought of himself as being a superior person. I mean, he looked the physical prowess, but he lacked the humanity, and at a certain point in the movie, like he gets stripped of his powers, he gets stripped of his mighty hammer Mjolnir, and he gets sent to Earth realm. And so it's so funny because Jane Foster or Darcy and Eric Selbit, they've been checking these different fluctuations of EKG readings that show that there might be something else going on. And so when he got pushed to Earth, that's when they collided with him, literally hitting him. And I thought it was real funny. And I mean, the interaction between Thor and the interaction between Jane, I thought they were very sincere. I thought they were really campish. Like some of the times, like she was kind of like looking at him like eye candy, and some of the times like he was just kind of like whatever. But it was a lot of interesting comedic things that happened throughout their dialogue together. And not just that, like he learned how to care more so about the humanity aspect of ruling a kingdom than the inheritance that we profit from it, from the battle, from the siege. Because I mean, there was nobody that really could kind of go up against them. When they went to the Frost Giant planet, they just wrecked everything. I mean, but then when they came up with the monster, it literally brought me to like, I can't wait for Thor to fight Hulk. I was just like, this is the moment for me. And another moment kind of like happens like that in the second Thor movie. But it all draws honestly about the relationship between Thor and Loki, and the deception that Loki has, and how he literally set up Thor to basically take the rap for everything. He lost his powers, and at the same time, like now his people that he cares about on Earth is being threatened. And basically, Loki took the keys to the kingdom because like Odin is in a captivated sleep, and so like he basically was kind of ruling everything. And he had Thor through the mill. Like at a certain point, when I realized that things were getting kind of serious, is when Thor was trying to get to Mjolnir at the site where S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of holding it up. And he was doing everything he kind of could to get to it, but he realized at that point that he deserved himself. He deserved what he's kind of getting, you know, at that point. And I think what added injury to misery for him is the fact that Loki showed up and was like, yeah, Odin died and it was your fault and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, that was the dagger that broke the camel's back to me, but it added something that he was willing to fight for. Like it wasn't so much, I mean, everything he thought that he needed or fought for before, they were invalid at this point, and now he has nothing but these people that are Earthlings, and he basically acting the same thing. So he's doing everything he can to try to protect them. He literally sacrificed his life to do that, to try to save Jane, try to save everybody, even to have his companions. His companions, they are OGs. Like, all honestly, they are serious warriors. And it's funny that they go in and out stages with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But in this one, they were kind of really grounded. I really liked all of them generally as characters. It was just really campy. It was really cartoony as far as the dialogue. The mythology's kind of tweaked here or there. He never wore his helmet but once, and that's what Thor is noted for. Like, one of my friends, John, he's like seriously the biggest Thor fan I know, and he still loves the Avengers movies and he loves the Thor movie, but like the fact that they didn't keep the helmet, to him be able to consistently use it, like it just didn't make sense to him. And it doesn't make sense to me either. Towards the end, there are things that kind of happen with the relationship between Thor and Loki that are so strained that they borderline of like, man, like they were literally put at odds with each other from birth without them literally knowing. But at the same time, there's a bond there that it can't be really shaken technically, but because Loki has his own perspective and Thor has his own ideals, they can never mesh together ultimately. But it was a really good arc, and for Loki to kind of be sent back and you realize that Loki really is not dead, I think that it added even more of an elevation. And then they show like something that happens, and I don't want to spoil it because I'm about to start looking at Captain America. But either way, I give Thor, I give it a 7.5 actually. I don't give it a direct 8 because I thought it was a little too campy. It was a really wholesome story. It wasn't that bad. I know for a fact that Thor 2 is twice as good to me personally. But I give it a 7.5. I didn't say it was a bad movie. When I can, I'm going to definitely do a more in-depth review of some of these. But for this one, let's give it a 7.5. And I can't wait for looking at Captain America, the First Avenger. This is SCL0220 signing out, and I'm about to take off these clothes. And tonight, in case you don't know, Age of Avengers. Not really, it was actually Age of Ultron. Later everybody, peace.